kind, you should tell your partner because that affects them. Now, when it comes to mental health, and some different mental health issues could be depression, anxiety,
Depression, anxiety.
um,
Right.
um,
But is that fair? Is that fair? That's another question
well,
I'm gonna ask you,
well,
or what you think about. Is it fair to come in? Let's just say, because I know a lot of people is in this boat as well. You don't say nothing about the issue that you're having mentally, uh, the different things you've been through,
mm-hmm,
and now you're in a relationship and you're
mm-hmm,
comparing everything to your past relationship. The guy or the woman, whatever
mm-hmm.
that one don't have the issues, asking you what is the problem. You telling them no. Is that fair for that person to stay in a relationship? Now they done grow a bond with you. They got kids with you. The whole
Well,
deal.
that's why. Well,
How
you
fair?
shouldn't even get to that point without having a discussion. And let me tell you,
But I'm talking about in real life.
right?
It's
What?
people that's in a relationship right
But let
now
me tell you why.
with
There are a
mental
lot
health
of people.
issues.
There are a lot of help. There are a lot of people that have mental health issues, and it's very sensitive to them.
I'm sorry.
It's very sensitive. It's a sensitive topic.
But is it fair
Now
for the other
listen.
person to pick up that burden
No,
of you going through something?
we have to
and then
get to that point first.
What you
Mental
mean?
health issues is a very sensitive topic.
Right.
And if you've had depression for whatever reason, if you've had some breakdowns for whatever reason, if you take medicine for your mental health issue for whatever reason, it's a sensitive topic. Just like you talked about before, there are women and men that have had some that has been sexually abused
Mm-hmm.
before, right?
Right.
And so you touch them a certain type of way and it affects them,
Right.
and they may not tell their partner. So things mental health issues is just like sexual abuse. It is sensitive to them. So that is not something that they're going to open up to everybody just because you want to know who I am. That is something that you give to your partner that you trust. Now, I don't know about telling your partner at the very first date, but I do think that before y'all get into a committed relationship, you should tell him everything about you that's going to affect it. Because the first date for a lot of people, you getting to know the surface level, you know, where you been, where you're trying to go, yada yada yada. But a mental health issue is a sensitive topic for a lot of people. So my suggestion is before you get into a committed relationship, before you say this is my person, I'm their person, you let your partner know before that point that, hey, I have this condition, I have this mental health issue, right? And this is what it. This,
I take medicine.
This I take medicine for. This is how it affects me, and I want you to know this because it could potentially affect our relationship, and then that person can make the decision on,
I'm out.
you know, are they in or are they out?
Right.
But you know, it's not something that you just lay on the table the first day. It's something that's very sensitive for people that's been
Right.
through it.
Right.
So I say before you get into a committed relationship, before
Okay.
you say, okay, we're established that we're together.
Mm-hmm.
Before we do that, let me tell you this.
Right. That's the right thing to do.
That's the right thing to do. I have these issues.
Right.
I manage them this way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is this something that you can deal with?
You know what? On this live, and I know we're gonna not have or lose a lot of people because a lot of people are, and that's the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people have issues
Mm-hmm.
or mental issues or just issues in general, and they will not discuss them at all.
That's right.
They will carry their issues, and always when you ask them, there's nothing wrong with them to the grave. And they will put their life and their marriage, their relationship through so much stress and so much turmoil, and they'll blame the other person when they know that they come in with their mind with their mind full of stuff they have never let go.
That they
or
never got closure
They never
with.
got it over
Yeah.
from something happened to them.
Right.
They would never tell you that.
Right.
They would never tell you it's them. They will always blame it on you.
Mhm.
People are going through that
But
right
that's because
now.
they haven't accepted the fact that there is, they do have a mental health issue.
That's the problem.
That people don't accept it. But people, I think sometimes when people think about mental health issues, you think about,
But that's just a
the-
name they put on it.
right, what I'm saying is that they think about the stuff that has been diagnosed. But your mental health issue can be anything
Yeah.
that has affected your mental health. and that prevents you from moving or living in a way that's normal or productive.
It affects your emotions.
It affects everything. If you have been abused,
That affects
and
your
it
emotions.
it affects you physically and it affects you mentally. And you got to come to terms with that and get closure on that before you go into a relationship, because then you're going to go into your relationship and that guy is going to suffer for what somebody else did because you haven't really dealt with that or gotten over it. And it's okay to not be okay. That's one thing I want to say here too. It's okay to say I'm not okay, but let your partner know that.
Right.
That, hey, this happened to me.
Right.
And so if I do this, if I do that, it's not you, it's me.
Right.
I did it. This happened to me. I'm still kind of working through it. And whether you believe it or not, there are partners out there. If they really love you and they're really for you, they are going to do the best they can to understand and work with you. But people don't want to feel judged, or people don't want to feel like it's my fault when they know that it's not.
Right.
So if you have a mental health issues that alters your personality, that alters your attitude, let your partner know that that's a big deal. So you have the responsibility to let your partner know, hey, I got these issues, and it's okay. It's okay to have mental health issues. But it's okay because we've all been at a place in life to where our mental health has been affected.
This is the thing.
If you're living, your mental health has been affected,
Yes,
right?
Right.
But it's how you deal with it and
Right.
how honest you are with your partner.
Right.
Because people with mental health issues that manage it and that are open with their partner about it live productive, happy relationships.
This is the thing. And this is my opinion.
Opinion.
Right.
Okay.
When you have issues, my belief is you're not ready for a relationship.
Well, what is an issue? Is it an
When you
issue that
going-
doesn't have an answer, or issue that you haven't resolved?
Yes.
Yep.
All those things.
But you could have a mental disorder that you have to take medicine for the rest of your life. Does that
that's
mean you're not ready for a relationship?
No. That's what you need to discuss. That part, what you just said, is something. You've been diagnosed with something.
Mm-hmm.
That needs to be on the table.
Well, that's a part of your that's it. Yeah, if you're taking medicine if you're taking medicine for anything,
Yeah, that's what I'm
whether
saying.
it's blood pressure, diabetes, depression,
Yeah.
anxiety.
That you have to come off the gate. But I'm talking
Yeah.
about what I'm talking about when I say mental issue, because like I said, it's a popular word now. Mental.
So not like a medical terminology, but you've been diagnosed. But
That's
you're
what
talking
that's
about
what
life.
the real term means. Mental
Yeah.
issue. That you mental issue.
Uh-huh.
How you get through a mental issue is you go to the doctor and get treated.
Right.
But in this case, a mental issue is talking about depression, abuse, right?
You know, to the doctor and get treated for that stuff too.
But how many people in our community are going to the doctor
They're not,
for
because
being for uncle back in the day touching me?
they're ashamed. First of all, they're
Okay.
ashamed that it happened,
Okay,
and then they're ashamed to say it has affected me.
and
And
I'm gonna leave it alone. But how many people after those same people? How many is gonna tell their partner that happened to them? They're just
well,
huh?
that goes back to it being a sensitive topic.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So in a relationship,
Yeah.
when you're in a relationship and your partner asks you
Mm-hmm.
what's wrong with you,
Mm-hmm.
do not make him feel like he's the problem. When you know,
or her,
forgive me,
him or her.
forgive me, God bless.
Right. Be
Don't-
honest with your partner.
Don't make that person, the significant other,
Mm-hmm.
feel as if it's not your problem, he's a problem.
Right. So first,
That's my problem.
You have to take ownership of the fact that you have a mental issue.
Yeah, because living with that and living with not being upfront, not being honest, not being not telling your partner that, I don't know what that feels like, but they can't feel.
Well, I know what it feels like.
Okay, talk about it, Queen.
So let me tell you, and I'm just keeping it 100.
Keep it 100.
Okay?
What you done did?
I ain't did nothing,
Don't lie.
but I'm gonna tell you my truth.
Tell the people what you done did. Talk about it.
I have
Now we getting somewhere, y'all. Talk about it, Queen. Go ahead.
So I have looked. Maybe I'm not playing too much. But I have personally lived with a person that did not disclose mental health issues prior to.
Okay.
And
You wanna bump this out? You don't wanna get too personal.
no, yeah, I'm not gonna get too personal.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I'm just saying how important it is to disclose that early on
Got you.
and not get into a committed relationship with anybody
Because it affects.
because it affects. And then you've had this innocent person that wasn't aware that you had these mental issues prior to. You've had this person be exposed to some things that then affects their mental health, and it affects their physical health, and it affects their spiritual health. So it's not about you having mental health issues that's going to hinder you from being in a relationship. It's your responsibility to disclose that. Your failure to disclose it, that's the problem. Because it's okay to say, I'm struggling mentally with this. I'm struggling mentally with that. That's okay. We've all been in a place where we've struggled mentally with something. But you have the responsibility to tell your partner, this is my issue. This is what I'm dealing with. This is what I have to do to get through it. Your partner may actually be the person to help you through it. But you'll never know if you don't disclose it to them. And it's not fair to them to find out years later, oh, I take medicine for this. You take medicine for what? Oh, I take medicine for depression. I take medicine for anxiety. I take medicine for bipolar. I take wait, stop. What? Where you get that? I take medicines for all these things. So then that person has to condition their mind and their body and their spirits to be able to deal with your issues. When it would have been nice to know that from the beginning. Right? Because then if you knew it from the beginning, then you have the right to say, I can deal with this, or it's something that I don't want to deal with. You have the right to do that. So anything, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, anything that affects you and can potentially affect your relationship, you have to let your partner know. 100%. If they ask you what's wrong, you have to tell them.
You have to tell.
You have to tell them. And it's okay to say, I do have an issue. I'm not okay right now. Can we talk about this later?
I'm depressed.
Well, if you say I'm depressed, then you have to be willing to open up that door. Why are you depressed? What's wrong?
You making me feel like I used to feel when I was with my ex-girlfriend.
Keep talking. Whatever your partner say, if they ask you what's wrong, you have to tell them. They're your partner. And if they're willing to talk about it,
some of them not.
Then I said, if they're willing to talk about
some
it,
of them don't want to.
then you should have a conversation. You should have a conversation about it. And the person that's telling you that I have depression, the person that's telling you that I have anxiety or I have this issue, that your partner, don't judge them.
I'm sorry.
Don't judge.
Listen.
And that's where you can do some of your sounds with an applause right there.
Let me tell you something.
Wait, babe, I gotta get this out. Don't judge them if they have mental issues, because you don't know what they have been through. You don't know what it has taken for them to get to a point where they can actually share it with you. That's why a lot of people don't share mental health issues, because they're afraid of how people are going to respond to it.
Right.
And in your relationship, you should feel safe enough to say, babe, I'm struggling with this. I'm struggling with that.
You're struggling with depression.
I'm struggling with whatever you're struggling with.
I'm struggling with hurt.
I'm struggling with hurt. I'm struggling with disappointment. I'm struggling with pain. I'm struggling with.
But who talk like that?
Listen, we all can do better. We talk like that. We express our feelings all the time.
We don't say like hurt and depression.
But no, because if we ask what's going on, we talk about what's going on. Most of the time, you don't have to ask. We can just tell something's wrong. Like, what happened?
Yeah, but
so I know what we're not used to doing, but we got to get to the point to where we do better as a community. As if we want to continue to have good relationships that are productive, you got to be able to talk to your partner. So I know